things about Rob. One of our favorites is he was our brother-in-law.
And he was a good brother-in-law at that.
Yes, he was. He was a lot of fun to be around. He had a great sense of humor.
We would spend the holidays together, usually Thanksgiving and Christmas, but Thanksgiving was probably the most time we spent with him because it was a big dinner affair, and Rob would always be involved in the preparation, of course.
He was a great chef.
And whether we ate at Rob and Roberta's house or up in Tahoe or at the Albericis, it was always a fun time, an afternoon together.
Lots of fun. Playing games and going places.
Remember we played bingo
Yeah.
in Tahoe, and everybody won a prize.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Rob had such a caring nature. He looked out for everyone. And he meant the world to us, and we loved him very much.
This is Diana and Stuart Hall. I want to make this wonderful tribute to a good friend of ours, Rob Moore, who is a master chef. And as part of our dinner club, he and Roberta added so much love and warmth. And we were very fortunate to be able to enjoy his wonderful cooking. And he just outdid us all with his great smoker and barbecue. And we're missing him very much.
I met Rob soon after we moved to California 8 years ago. We met him on audition, and we bonded over two things that he loves, and that was music and his daughter Audrey. And why I mention Audrey is because we started chatting about her at the time. She just graduated high school. Actually, she hadn't even graduated yet, but she was looking at where she wanted to go to college. She wanted to study abroad. I happened to be from Toronto, and that was one of the cities she was looking at. So Rob and I started chatting over that. We were complete strangers at that time, but we got together for a coffee, and an amazing friendship developed from that inauspicious beginning. We spent a lot of time together the last few years, going out to see music, eating dinner together, going to fairs, just doing all sorts of stuff. He and Roberta have become great friends to us, and I can't even express how sad I am over his passing. But I want to focus and continue to focus on just all the great memories that we have together, and that makes me happy to think of those memories.
We love you, Rob, and we'll miss you.
One of my favorite things about Rob was that when he talked with you, he really listened, he focused, and you knew that he cared and he was interested. And he always gave such wonderful, thoughtful, and positive feedback. He was very encouraging. I remember talking with him about a music exhibition I was developing, and he shared with me what he'd be fascinated to learn about other musicians, about how their music evolved, and about various bands and how their membership changed over the years. We used his ideas in the planning of the exhibition, and it helped make for a much more interesting story. It was wonderful always to talk with Rob and to know that he cared and that you were being heard. I'll miss talking with him very much. Love you all.
Rob and I were walking down the street, and I said, my ancestors were kicked out of Scotland for stealing horses. He said, it was my ancestors whose horses you were stealing. Miss you, Rob.
Well, Rob was our son-in-law, and we will always remember the goodness in his heart that he shared with our daughter Roberta, his wife, and our granddaughter Audrey, his daughter, and all the goodness that he did in his life for others. We will miss you, Rob.
One of my favorite things about Rob was cooking with my KB. We had so much fun and lots of laughs. And you know, I'm glad he went to culinary school because he really wanted to go, and I wanted him to go because I wanted to enjoy the food that he cooked. But we had so much fun, and our trips to Tahoe and our trip to Los Angeles in the RV was probably one of my best trips ever. And I'm gonna miss you.
I have so many great memories with my Uncle Rob. Whether it was going to Tahoe or spending all our Christmases or Thanksgivings together, it was always a great time. But I would have to say my favorite thing about him would probably just be that he was always in a good mood. Like, no matter what, wherever we were, whatever was going on, he was always in a good mood. And the thing with that is if you were lucky enough to be around him, he would put you in a good mood too. I'll never forget his laugh and his smile. He will forever be missed. I love you, Rob.
We met Rob a little over 2 years ago when a group of friends started the Hoser Dinner Club. Rob was clearly the professional and chef in our crowd, but he always kept it low-key, and he didn't make us feel intimidated by his culinary expertise. Rob had a warm, generous spirit that came through in everything. He loved good food, good music, good wine, and good company.
He was a great host, and he knew just how to make you feel welcome and comfortable. And he had the same demeanor whether he was hosting a few people or a crowd. I'll never forget when we went to his 4th of July party, and I was just amazed at how calm he was, even though he was feeding about 50 to 75 people on his own. I also remember that in the midst of the cooking frenzy, he was graciously chatting up a teenage boy who had wandered into the kitchen just to see what was going on.
The last time we saw Rob was in February, about the time he was halfway through his scheduled treatments, and he was looking strong.
We were also optimistic, and it's hard to believe that 6 months later he's no longer with us. We'll always remember him as a strong, vibrant, and good-hearted person. We miss you,
Rob.
Well, Rob, I can't believe you're gone. We were friends for well over 30 years, and you're like a second brother to me, man. I love you. I miss you. I want to thank you for everything. Thank you for being a great friend. Thank you for always being supportive of my family and my friends. Thank you for all the musical times. Thank you for all the fun times we had together, all the shows we saw, all the traveling we did. Thank you for letting me be part of your family, man. You're in my heart. I think about you every day, and still can't believe you're gone, but, I want you to know that you made me a better person, and I appreciate that. Much love, my friend. Thanks so much for everything, and we'll meet again.
Hi, my name's David Fernandez. I had the good fortune of getting to know Robert because of his involvement in our fraternity, Phi Gamma Delta. It was amazing to me how important joining the fraternity that his father belonged to as a college student was to Rob, and how rewarding it was to him to be able to join his dad's fraternity. Phi Gamma Delta was neither the most popular fraternity at UCLA nor the worst fraternity, but Rob was committed to joining the fraternity and becoming an active member of the fraternity. And I'm going to share with you a story that Rob and I had going through college. Rob was entering his 4th year of college, and I was entering my 3rd, and we lived in Northern California. And so Rob was going to catch a ride home with me over Christmas vacation from LA to the Bay Area. And I learned a couple of valuable lessons when Rob and I got up very early one Friday morning to drive home, because I had to go fight a traffic ticket that I received. So we were up early, it was December, and amazingly enough in Los Angeles it was actually cold. Rob and I got on the freeway and I turned the heater on in my convertible Camaro, and unfortunately I learned something about a car part called a heater core. It turns out that mine had burned out, and so when I flipped the heater on, instead of getting heat out, there was water puddling at Rob's feet. So it was cold, we were in LA, no one wears jackets, and so Rob and I had to bundle up in all of the shirts that we had driving home to throw in the washer, and we had to put socks on our hands in order to get through the grapevine because it was so cold. But we eventually got through, made it to my court date, and luckily enough the police officer didn't show up, so I got off and we proceeded to drive home. Again, found out what a heater core was, something I never expected to do. Miss you, Rob.
My favorite thing about Rob Moore is his regard for music, and everything he did for me in my first band with him as lead guitarist. I'll never forget his insistence on playing Billy Cobham's Stratus at our first live gig at the Keystone Palo Alto. I miss you, Rob.
My favorite thing about Rob, it has to be that he always had a smile on his face, and he was always happy every time that I saw him, up until the end, till the last. He was just a genuinely nice person, and there aren't that many people that you meet in life that you can say are genuinely nice. And that was Rob. I love you, Rob.
Peace, Rob, until we meet again. We love you.
So our thing we'll miss most about Rob is his happy, loving, chef-like contributions at our Hoser dinner. So miss you lots, Rob.